Hi there, it's GMcCleary, and this is my second vid today. And I talked about Tally's character and how her character evolves in the Mass 1, 2, and 3, hopefully. But I also wanted to talk about, there wasn't much time to talk about both the Haestrom Sun and Tally at the same time, since my theory is, pretty out there. But anyway, with like I said in the previous vid, that you could have. I mean, you were supposed to like recruit Talia Freeman's Progress, but Bioware made you changed it all of a sudden to you recruited her on Haestrom. I mean, and I don't know what the sun was all about. I just thought that it was I always thought first it was like how the coins react to like the Geth and what they're up to or something like that. But it turns out the Geth weren't up to the messing up with Haitian Sun. But Tally didn't think so. But obviously the Amalty Bar thought so. Why would they try to fuck up their own sun? Is I don't know why would they do that, but I don't. Obviously, I don't think the Geth or the Heretics, for that matter, did that. I mean, granted, the Heretics, through the N7 side missions, you see them trying to terraform a bunch of planets, but attacking an entire sun, that's a bit ambitious, even for those fanatics. But I when I see that sun, I'm like thinking of the sun from like the when Luciman sees it outside his office. I mean, at the beginning you see like that sun dying or something like that. Tim looks at it, then he meets the shepherd, and throughout their chats, the sun stays basically the same. It's on the verge of dying, and then at the end, whether or not I always thought it was a simple symbolism, like yeah, but I think it said it right, symbolism, not symbology. Let's face it, that was just a bull crap word I use. Don't use, I guess. Don't want you too much Boondock Saints if you get the reference. But anyway, with if you preserve the collector base for Tim to exploit, then the sun turns dark red or something like that. It's like it's on the verge of dying, or it's like it's on its last breath or something like that. Then if you preserve the base, then and if you destroy the base and not give it to Cerberus, which is I don't know. I did that every time because let's face it, when it comes to recreating something, Cerberus knows what they're doing. But when it comes to creating something, Cerberus doesn't know what they're doing at all. I mean, every time they try to create something, it blows up in their effing faces every time, and every time it does that. I mean, you can do that with the Arachnide Thorian Creepers, the Husks, and with the Project Overlord, it's like trying to control the gas. Ooh, great plan. It's not necessary. It's like you always see that. I mean, you always see Tim like thinking, "Hey, if everybody else is doing it and they failed, we're humans. We can be better than them. We can do it. We can do it just because we're humans and we think we're better." And we are not learning from the mistakes of those guys because let's face it, that would mean aliens would be influencing our thoughts, and that would be bad. But I don't know if that's the mentality that Cerberus is going under. Like, I don't want to give them the credit of looking like a bunch of stupid douchebags, but they are stupid douchebags. Let's face it. Tim is like that. He believes he has the wisdom to utilize the collector data, but he doesn't. When it comes to Reaper technology, you can't be dependent on you can't be more dependent on Reaper technology than you already have. I mean, if you use a simple IFF and the crew gets abducted in the process, just imagine what would you use for a collector base. It's obviously going to blow up in Tim's face. Tim has a terrible track record. Nobody can deny that. Especially when it comes to manipulating things, manipulating alien technology beyond their comprehension. It blows up in their face every time. It's a terrible cliche, I know, but there it is. And it's like I always blow it up every time. Every time blow up the base because let's face it, it's more fun to blow something up than to spray radiation. I mean, spray radiation's cool, but not nearly as cool as blowing things up. Not only do you blow up that base, you blow up all the thousands of ships that venture through the Omega 4 relay, old and new. You blow that up too. You blow those up too. But in all seriousness, I always thought that sun, like if you commit a Paragon Act, Tim's sun turns blue. If you commit a Renegade Act, Tim's sun turns red. You know, obviously I looked at it through a symbolism point of view, and I should have looked deeper. But my theory is basically that if Haestrom's sun is being manipulated and by using dark energy to ruin the interior of the star, I'm no astrophysicist, so I don't pretend to be one, but I'm thinking in the storyline that if they use dark energy to ruin the interior of the star, wouldn't that create an artificial supernova, meaning everything will blow up within the solar system? Not as like a rival. I mean, you blow up you destroy the Mass Effect relay, everything blows up. It's like just imagine that, except with the sun, with the star. I mean, maybe that's what they were going for. Like maybe the Reapers somehow managed to manipulate the interior of the star, therefore blowing up a couple of gap stations nearby. And it's like kind of makes you wonder what they're doing. Could they manipulate Tim's sun? I don't know. Could they manipulate the suns? I mean, could they manipulate the stars in the galaxy? They're the Reapers. I mean, anything's possible with those tentacle freaks. But I don't know. I like that. I kind of like this theory. The more I look into it, the more it kind of adds up. In which case that could, if they're like, of all the bases to go to, I mean, with the collector specifically put in the center of the galaxy. I mean, granted, nobody really looks there because there's a bunch of exploding suns and black holes. I mean, it's the perfect place to conduct some research there. But why would at the end you at the end of Mass Effect 2, you come across like, why did they abduct all the colonists, and it turns out they were making a human Reaper. Don't know why. I mean, if there's hundreds, if not thousands, of Reapers out on the march, would having one really make a difference? But I keep thinking that if they're like, Sovereign needed to activate the Citadel relay to link to dark space. Therefore, the Reaper Armada will arrive and harvest the galaxy. That's how it's been for millions of years, right? So they needed the Vanguard to stay behind in the galaxy to open the door, right? But the door on the Citadel is no longer accessible. So if you can't get to a door, you make one. I mean, that's simple. And maybe the collectors were making one. Maybe the collectors had like a relay that connected to dark space, the Omega 4 relay. I mean, which would be the perfect relay to do it. The link to the dark space, open the door, in which case everybody will pour through inside the galaxy, not just like outside the Citadel, but outside the actual galaxy. I mean, really in the center of it, so they can go through all directions with great efficiency and timing. And maybe that's why they created the Human Reaper in the first place, so that they always need a vanguard. It always seems like that. They always needed a vanguard. Maybe that was the whole point. This is simply to activate the Omega 4 relay that connects to dark space. I mean, it is different from all the relays outside the galaxy, and maybe they managed to make a few upgrades to it. In which case, they can open the collectors instead of the keepers opening it. It would be the collectors. That simple. Maybe the Reapers were thinking of using collectors to trade for the keepers when they try to harvest the galaxy again, because the keepers are naturally evolved now. They don't obey direct orders from the Reapers. They only obey those that control the signal, which ironically turned out to be the Protheans that altered the signal. In which case, the keepers didn't just simply ignore the Sovereign's request to open the Citadel relay. And I don't know, this like maybe that's what if they created an artificial supernova. Again, not an astrophysicist, so correct me if I'm wrong, please. I need comments to whether or not I'm wrong about this theory, because I want to know if this theory stands a chance. I'd like to know. But anyway, if they create an artificial supernova and a star collapses, doesn't that create black holes? I don't know. And if it does, then why would they do that? I mean, could the Reapers travel through using black holes? I don't know much about black holes, but I do know they kind of alter, like, the whole space and time kind of thing. kind of like a glitch in a computer, like in a computer frame. So I don't know. They kind of like time is slower when you get closer to a black hole. So wouldn't it mean they can get to the black hole a lot faster? I mean, that would be kind of interesting in Mass Effect 3 to see a Reaper fleet traveling through a bunch of black holes. I mean, that would be cool. But that's basically my theory on how things are. If they can manipulate stars to collapse and create artificial supernovas, blow things up, and then the star collapses, the black hole is formed, and they can travel through it. Travel through a black hole. I mean, wow. Who wouldn't want to see that? And I don't know about Tim's star. I mean, Tim is obvious in Mass Effect 3. Obviously, because the Reapers get Cerberus into their pockets, which sadly was pretty damn easy if they really try. If they did try, which they did. I mean, with Tim being such a control, micromanage freak, I mean, all you had to do was simply indoctrinate Tim, and the rest will follow suit. I mean, that's the sad thing about micromanaging. Maybe Tim should have thought to make a Cerberus a conglomerate, but Tim, wants to control everything. He doesn't want anyone to know everything about something. So, in which case, the rest of the organization will be wondering, why is Tim acting this way? Why is he giving us these orders? It seems contradictory to everything. In which case, they won't question it because they have undying loyalty to him and the Cerberus, so they won't question the authority. That's not what Cerberus does. They question everyone's authority but their own. And let's see, I got about 3 minutes left. And I don't know what other. I don't know if that's a. I don't know if it's a sound theory or not. I mean, there's no proof, but as Morton said, no proof of theory fits evidence. So I'm not really too sure how to look it up. I mean, it's like spending time last 2 months, like just like not thinking about this at all, and like then all of a sudden I'm thinking about this in the last couple of days. I'm like, 7 more months of this. I can't do that. So I'll try to, express my opinions on certain things, certain topics, certain people, and I'm going to do a next vid. I don't know what the next vid's going to be about. I like to think it's going to be about characters, but also genuine theories along the way. So don't know what to think about that. So this is GMcCleary's saying bye there.